Ohio gozaimasu. I'm Craze.
And I'm Witchy.
And again, no Miki.
However, she will be returning for the next episode.
Yes. She's coming back, finally, after her isekai journey.
Back to we
Be
Simpin.
Episode?
Dai 38 wa.
Which I believe you said 38.
Yes.
And today's topic is the spring anime lineup of 2026.
But why don't we start off with our weekly update?
I can start, but it's basically, both of ours. We just finished up There's no freaking way I'll fall in love with you unless, which is a Yuri anime. We talked about it last week. Started it. We're about halfway through it at that time, and we finished it up this week. And I'm going to throw it to you, Witchley. What did you think of...
Alright, so, spoilers in case you guys haven't watched it, so you can skip this section now if you don't want to hear anything about it. But my first thing I'm going to say about it is that I am surprised at how many, oh, man, I want to call them polycures for some reason. What are they called? Like, polygamous kind of people out there. Like, it's just a surprising number to know, oh, wow, a lot more people do this.
I've never been more seen, is what a lot of people were, like, commenting on this thing.
So, I'm like, I found it disappointing because, for a good chunk of the anime, our main character, Reniko, she's trying to choose between Mai and Ajisai.
Yes. Essentially, yeah. I mean, there's more girls in the mix, but it's essentially
but those are the two main girls. Like, she has stuff going on with the other girls, but relationship-wise, she's trying to decide between those two girls. And so you think by the end there's gonna be some payoff, but like, oh, she's gonna like make up her mind, she's gonna make a decision. No, I can see the greatness of this moment as I'm talking about it, but at the same time, for me, it falls flat because she's like, no, I don't have to decide. And I'm all like, oh gosh, it's like we could have like cut out all of this back and forth, and she could have just got with them and saved us the trouble of watching this anime when they both had like finally confessed to her. They could have gotten this all out in the open back then. So I feel like it was sort of a wee bit of a waste of time in my opinion. But I liked the characters. I thought the story was fun. I liked seeing the cosplay stuff and her other friend, who is not a romantic
Kaho, I think,
that we know.
and Satsuki,
Yeah,
I think is the other one. Suzuki.
I think it was like Satsuki or something.
And then Kaho was the cosplayer.
Kaho, yeah. So I really like the story with Kaho because I'm like, yeah, we don't need even more people getting in on this relationship. But
yeah, I was worried when they showed Kaho because she was like pretty much on the wayside until the later half of the season, where I was like, oh my god, are they gonna rent a girlfriend her? They essentially pretty much did until the last 4 episodes. But they gave
each girl their own set of episodes.
Yeah, well, they extended this season because they added 4 or 5 more episodes. Yeah. So they technically did rent a girlfriend her if you only just follow the first 12 episodes. So we watched all 17 over on YouTube. You can go check it out there. That's how we watched it. I don't think you can watch this anywhere else streaming wise.
There was a website, I forgot what it was, but I found it last year.
Okay.
We missed.
So that's how they released all of this.
Yeah.
So, I know we talked about it last week, but that's how we watched it, and you guys can go check it out over there. But I have the same thoughts and feelings as Witchley did. I was disappointed by the ending because it is essentially a mini choice. Like instead of choosing one person, I'm going to choose all of you.
Why choose?
Why choose? Why should there be a choice?
So I'm going to give you like a little insight on me. When I'm going through like Amazon and looking at like these indie dark romances that I love to read so much, I tend to avoid the ones that automatically tell you why choose. I'm all like, okay, well, I already know everything I need to know.
It just seems like a waste. Like, It just like, why did we watch 17 episodes if you're just not going to have a choice?
Right. You could have saved us a few episodes.
Could have cut this season in half, really.
Yeah. I understand it's based off of a light novel series.
Yeah, and it's still going, apparently.
Yeah, they only made it halfway through the books, I think, and everything we saw. So maybe in the book she'll eventually end up with one girl. Or maybe she'll have them all, who knows?
I will say it is interesting going forward now. Like, okay, she's made that choice. Mm-hmm. What does that look like?
She groveled in front of the most silent audience. They might as well have not been there. I was like, you know, if you're gonna keep it that silent and not have any like crowd reactions to a celebrity getting into a
polygamous relationship,
then like don't have them do it on the stage. Do it behind the stage or somewhere more private. Because if you're gonna keep it that quiet, that's another thing that annoyed me. I was like, that moment could have been elevated a bit by crowd reaction.
So overall, I really enjoyed the ride. I think, like you said, I really liked the characters. I liked seeing Renako kind of wanting friends at first because she is very introverted. She's trying to be extrovert. I really understood her reasonings to doing that. And then obviously over time, as we understand her more, she's like, I can't love somebody else when I can't even love myself for who I am. Yeah. And I thought that was really... I was like, that makes a lot of sense, and I really wanted to see that growth, but it feels like we didn't get there at the end. I feel
like that was swept under the rug a bit because, you know, as a teenager, and I'm sure most of us have struggled with this, but like, I struggled with loving myself for a long time. And it would have been nice to see that represented more as like a thing. Like, they had done this well in the anime. They could have made that the reason why. Like, if she finally could like learn to love herself and actually come full circle to it, whatever, face her own personal demons and like, hey, you know what? I'm strange, I'm unique, and that is worthy of like love or whatever. Then the whole her realizing, yeah, she loves both of those women. It just seems like so out there last minute.
Yeah.
Her decision making on this, but it would have been nice to see that turmoil and her leading up to that point where it's like, I love myself, and then getting on to the point where, you know what, I love both of these women.
Then I would have accepted it probably.
I feel like it would have been a much better payoff.
And I was arguing with Donut, who's a special guest on the podcast, because he's the one that recommended the show with us.
Yeah.
And that's why we watched it finally. And he really likes the ending. Yeah. And I was debating, like, we didn't really get the resolution of her loving herself, and he's like, oh, we kind of got that with Kaho. I'm like, yeah, we got a little bit. I just don't think you found a resolution. I feel like you may have understood yourself a bit better, but I don't think you figured yourself out at that moment, especially because this is in the same day,
right? It's too quick to come to those realizations.
Yeah, it just felt quick. Yeah. And then I really liked Mai as a character, who's the main girl.
She was my favorite of the two romantic choices she had.
And I was disappointed how they kind of backburned her a bit in the later half of the show. Like, she got her 4 episodes, and then that was it. And then you kind of see her here and there, but it's like, this is the main girl that pretty much confessed to Renako. Yeah. And I'm like, you're just going to put her on the wayside? It just felt like, and this is what I was trying to tell. I think I told you off air, but like, this felt like a visual novel where it's like, okay, what route am I going to take this time in this game? Let's go to Mai. Okay, 4 episodes. Let's go to Satsuki. Okay, next 4 episodes. Let's go to Ajisai, and then so on and so forth with Kyle. Yeah, totally it just felt like everyone was waysided. I'm like, these are the 4 main girls. Yeah, I don't need to see them the whole time, but I'm like, it would have been nice to acknowledge the fact that, like, hey, you're going after all 4 of these girls. Sort of. It's not your choice, Renako. It's everyone else that's around you that's making that choice and kind of dragging you along. But it just would have been nice to see Mai. I really like Mai.
But I will say, it totally has that visual novel feel, because that's how visual novels play out. Once you choose like a specific character, then you don't get much of the others. Yeah. Which it works great in visual novel format, and anime it was fine, but I felt like it could have used those other characters to, like, I don't know. I felt like it would have made it even more interesting to see how they all reacted with each other, how they got along as friends. Meanwhile, there's like the secret love stuff going on, and trying to work towards cosplay. If they could have gotten all those stories to merge together a bit. So she's juggling all these things. Because things don't work like that in real life where, oh, yes, I'm working on this one thing, and then I'll be working on this next thing, and then it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You have to juggle so many things. It would have been nice to see that, but it also makes sense because they covered the first 4 novels. One girl per novel.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's also that.
Again, overall, I really liked the show. It was a I think the best metaphor I could give you that we talked about off air was it was a great ride to be on.
Oh yeah.
Just getting off of it left a sour taste in my mouth.
It was about the journey, not the destination.
Exactly. So
I will say one thing that really annoyed me near the end was she's been so patient. But she was like, oh yeah, after tonight, I'm going to move to France and never come back again. Because I can't handle not having your love. And then I'm like, weak
sauce.
Weak.
You waited this long. You couldn't wait a little longer. I think because you saw her with Ajisai and her actually having a genuine response in front of her, I was like, oh, this is who she's bound to be with, and it hurts. I can't be with this woman. I get that.
How Mai would think, but in the end, it made more sense for Reniko to choose Mai, honestly. But yeah, no.
Overall, good show. Just did not like the ending. We both didn't like the ending.
They could have built that up better.
Or
saved us the time.
But again, if they do make more, I'm quite interested to see this dynamic going forward, like her juggling 2 women now.
I would be interested.
I would want to check that out now.
As an ending for an anime, I find it rather disappointing. But if they continue on, then yeah, I'll watch it.
So there's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless go check it out. But unless you don't want to after what we've said.
Or, it could be like right up your alley. Maybe you'll feel seen watching this.
I've never felt
so. Which, if so, that is fantastic.
Let us know down in the comments.
Yeah.
And then we didn't cover this last week, but I really wanted to talk about it, and we just had so much other things to talk about, of course. But Perfect Blue. We watched the Perfect Blue movie. I finally got you to watch it.
It was my first time watching it.
And I really want to know your thoughts on it, because I know I've danced around it in past podcasts, but this is the same creator that did Tokyo Godfathers, and this was...
And I love Tokyo Godfathers.
And I think he also made Paprika, and then this.
I've never seen Paprika.
I've never seen Paprika also, so maybe we can watch that one day and talk about it.
All I know is that as a spice, I love paprika.
It is a good seasoning.
Deviled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But we're not talking about paprika in the seasoning. We're talking about Perfect Blue.
Yeah.
What did you think of Perfect Blue?
Oh my gosh, that movie was crazy the whole time. I was like, wait, what's going on? And then I think I figured out before the reveal that spoiler alert, everybody, that somebody else was pretending to be her or something, or believed they were her, because I noticed some differences in the room. Because you have dead fish in one room, who she freaks out, and then I believe the aquarium remains empty whenever it's her, and then in some scenes she has fish. And then I'm all like, wait a minute, this is weird. And there was also, there was something else, but it's been a while, I can't remember now.
Well, I could go through a little bit of the synopsis of this so we can kind of break down a little bit more.
Yeah.
Mima, who is a pop idol who retires from music to pursue acting, only to be stalked by an obsessed fan and plagued by delusions as her life spirals into a nightmare. So this is a very psychological thriller movie, where I think she struggles with her identity while being haunted by her past at the same time. And it starts blurring the lines between reality and psychosis, and I'm so glad I got to show this to you, and you kind of went in just blind.
Yeah, I totally went in blind.
I think it made the experience a little bit more enjoyable for me, just to see me
trying to figure
anything out of this in this entire ride, and it's really good. It's really mindfucky is the best word I could say. And I just love stuff like that, where you don't know what's real and what's not, and then you're just seeing over time like more and more things, and you're kind of trying to see her identity, and she wants to leave a mark, obviously, and she starts doing, this risky, mature content like nude photos and
Right? She's no longer that pure idol.
uh-huh.
She's become like a woman and an actress, and she's willing to do stuff like nudes,
or
and,
even a entire, obviously fake rape scene in a movie, and it's played really, really terrifying just to see it filmed. It's like, wow, this is a lot.
Yeah, that was weird. The thing that like helped lighten that scene for me was when they were suddenly like, okay, pause, like hold still, and I was like, okay.
It's a movie. It's a movie.
They took me out of that for a moment. Because that was like, well animated, it was horrific. I was like, oh my god, well, rape scenes are never fun or good or anything.
Yeah, but when they cut, it's like he's still on top of her, and he's like, "I'm so sorry." By the way,
yeah. But you could see like the tension was like released in that moment, and then it was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is just pretend.
Yeah, it almost feels so real.
It felt so real. I was like, oh my god, what are you making me watch?
You're just looking at me like, what are you doing?
I was like, she's not really raped right now, is she? Oh my god,
they just like Satoshi Kon, who's obviously the director of this. Rest in peace, by the way. He's such a brilliant director that did Tokyo Godfathers, of course. Yeah. We talked all about that during our Christmas episode. But really, really, I think this is his magnum opus to me. Like, I think he did such a brilliant job with this film, and he does something so different than any other director I've ever seen on camera or even in animation in general. It's just, we're never gonna have someone like him ever again. And it's sad that he passed away, I think in 2012 or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's been a while for a while. So I really love Perfect Blue, and I'm glad I got to show it to you. So
yeah, that was great.
Check it out. I think we watched it over on Amazon.
Yeah, but you can also, if you have HBO Max, you can watch it on that.
Oh yeah, we were
because we bought it on Amazon.
I'm fine with owning it because that thing is so good. So
really good, yeah.
Perfect Blue, check it out. On to our news. I think we have a couple things.
Yes.
I'll start first. The studio behind Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, and other beloved anime such as Seventh Time Loop and Sentenced to Be a Hero is reportedly in a 3.5 million hole debt. I didn't read the art. I mean, I read the article with you, but essentially they're in insolvency right now, which is just crazy to think about. But they do have a parent company. I forget the parent company's name, but it's kind of like Craft On parent company of some sort. They'll probably just bail them out. I just find it fascinating when I was reading this article that this highly successful anime studio that has done really good work every year. I mean, we highlighted it last week, but Sentenced to Be a Hero is Studio Kai. By the way, I forgot to mention.
Yeah, you never mentioned that. I was about to.
Studio Kai is the studio I was referring to, as they did Sentenced to Be a Hero, and we talked a lot about it last episode, and it's just baffling me that such banger hits after banger hits, especially Uma Musume. Like they tackled Uma Musume going forward, I think after the second season. Pretty Derby is what it's called, and apparently that makes a lot of bank because who doesn't love horse girls right now?
Yeah, right. It's funny. We have a Mexican restaurant in town where like the one sport that they play on their TV is horse races.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where you can like bet on different horses. And I always think about that whenever we talk about Uma Musume.
It's just horse betting.
Yeah. It's not horse betting, but like you just watch horses, no riders or anything, just the horses racing.
See, I never got into the idea of the Uma Musume trend. I tried. I played a little bit of it. I was like, oh, okay, this is.
And you just didn't understand.
Like, I didn't understand it because it's just like they're just girls running. I guess I just don't understand sports as well.
See, I remember a long time ago before I met you, I was on a date with another guy. Sorry. But,
you should be.
We were at that restaurant and we were watching a horse race, and I was like, I don't understand. And he explained it to me at the time. I completely forgot everything he taught me. But then I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, this is fun. And then, proceed to forget all the knowledge he imparted on me.
So you don't remember anything
I don't
of like
remember
why horse racing
why
exists?
horse racing.
Why horse racing?
But I just know that when I did know what the hell was going on, it was fun.
Well, I'm glad you
If
had
you
some.
learn, then maybe you'll enjoy Musume.
I'm sure. I mean, it is anime girls. It's horse anime girls. I mean, who doesn't love?
It's like
There's a lot of furries, really.
yeah, furries. I was like, this is like the love of horses for like girls, but like for everybody.
Yeah, especially the people that do the horse betting and stuff. So it's like you get the best of both worlds. You get the horse girls, and then you get the horse gamblers. All at the same time.
Yeah.
And so it makes so much money, and I'm surprised that Studio Kai is basically floating under. Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, they made one of your favorite animes, which is Seventh Time Loop. They made Sins to Be Hero. There'll be another anime we're talking about this spring that is they are currently working on right now, and we'll talk about that. But it's crazy. It just makes me scared that it's not just this studio, but it's many other studios that are doing the same situation. Or like, are they not making enough money? This is like a bigger issue. This could open up a bigger issue, but like I'm just worried for the anime industry if like something as successful as what Studio Kai has been doing for the past, let's say, 10 years now. What does that say about the whole general anime industry? Like.
Yeah, but also them being a fairly newish.
Yeah, I think. Sorry. So it has not been 10 years. 2019 is when they came. They started their company.
So yeah, it's been about like 7 years.
Yeah.
So
the past 7 years, I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I think now this is starting to get into the point where I think it's a little too long to not be making a profit on your work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think typically for new companies in general, and it doesn't matter what like if you're a studio or like a company or like a whatever, you could be anything.
Uh-huh.
I think typically, now don't quote me on this, I could be wrong. Typically, it's like 5 years you gotta work at it before you actually start turning a profit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, I know they're owned by a parent company. I don't remember the name, but obviously they'll probably save them from insolvency. But it's scary. It's scary out there. I don't want this company, or at least the studio, to go under. I don't want anyone to go under, really.
Yeah,
I really like this studio, especially after the last few years we've watched some of their content, and they have a lot of things going on right now, and I really want to see them thrive more. So Studio Kai, we'll look out after you a little bit more and see what's going on if there's a follow up on that. But that's what's going on in it was Studio Kai in the anime industry. Now, on to you, Witchley.
All right, yes, I have big news. The new Avatar movie leaked all over the internet. They made such a huge mess. They had to clean up ink, paint.
so much ink.
Sorry, that's a joke. But it did leak all over the internet, just not the way I was saying. 6 months before it was going to come out.
So
the whole movie.
The whole movie. Let's. So I need to stipulate. When I say the Avatar movie, I'm not talking about James Cameron.
No,
we're talking about Avatar.
We are not a James Cameron podcast, honey. We are animation and Avatar, Last Airbender, Aang, that kind of thing. That is inspired by Japanese anime.
Exactly. So
it fits.
So what do you think about this? Since you're...
I think it is so sad that the whole movie got leaked on the internet. Because these creators, they worked so hard on it. They deserve, and it should have been in theaters. They deserve to have this movie in theaters because that's, I think, what we all were expecting and believed.
So originally, this is called The Legend of Avatar Aang: The Last Airbender. That's the title. Not really.
Yeah, you should have put that in the notes.
I'm not really a fan of that title. It's a long title, and it's like they're combining two shows in one kind of thing. But it's called Avatar Aang: The Last Airbender. Let's just call it that. It's been being worked on since 2021. from Avatar Studios, which was formed around the same time because it's the original creators that made the studio, and they wanted to make more Avatar universe material. So they're like, hey, we made Avatar Aang, we made Korra. Let's keep going. Let's make a new Avatar. Let's make movies that can tie into, more of the lore. And they could even go back decades of Avatar lore.
Decades.
I mean, centuries. They could go centuries. Yeah. They could go to the first Avatar again, or even like the third, or something. I mean, so they have so much story to tell in this universe, and I really love it. So they make the studio. This is their first movie project. I think this was a planned 3 movie,
a trilogy.
Like I wouldn't say like a connected trilogy, but like an anthology trilogy of like other characters from the original gang. I think they were going to do a Zuko movie at some point.
Is it no longer happening?
See, I don't know at this point. I don't know what the plans are, because originally this movie was supposed to come to theaters even last year, I think. I think they pushed it out another year with Paramount Plus. With Paramount, they pushed it out another year, and it was supposed to come to theaters. It was slated for a theatrical release, but then Paramount, who is the parent company of Nickelodeon to Avatar Studios, of course, decided to put it on Paramount Plus. That was going to be the idea, and a lot of people protested because they're like, no, this should get the recognition it deserves. It should be in theaters.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a huge petition, and the rumor, or I guess the part of the leak, is it was a disgruntled worker.
But I think, didn't they come out saying it wasn't?
I mean, so there was another news report that Paramount has already issued a statement saying it wasn't part of. It wasn't a disgruntled worker or anything. They couldn't find it in their system and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know if they're just trying to save face.
They could be.
And not point the blame at them. Maybe they're just trying to point the blame at somebody else. I don't know. But yeah, this is devastating. We've already seen clips of it, obviously. I've seen
if you're on the internet, it's hard to avoid shit.
Yeah, so I've seen at least one clip. You and I have seen one. It looks
gorgeous.
It looks amazing.
But I think it's important, like, even if you did watch the movie when it was leaked, to support the creators when it does come out.
Yeah, and that's what we want to do. I mean, I would have, from what the clip I saw, I was like, I would have paid money to see this in theaters. I would have died.
You would have died?
I would have died to see this in theaters. This looks so good, at least from what I saw from one clip that I shouldn't have watched, but it's kind of hard to avoid. Yeah, I just feel bad for the animators. I feel bad for the studio. I really hope that this does not shutter the studio, because I know they're working on an Avatar show, another one with an Earthbender, past Korra's tenure, I guess, and they want to make more movies. I want to see this universe flourish. I want to see it flourish, but I also want to see more of this universe. I know you can easily watch. I guess you can read the comics and stuff, like the Dark Horse comics that they made, which has even stories with Zuko's mom and what happened with her and resolution past that. And apparently Azula is a big character going forward after Fire and everything too, which is I've read some of that stuff and it looks cool. I'm like, can we get this in a show or a movie? It would be kind of cool. So it's just it's disappointing that this got leaked, but if you guys are patient, wait 6 more months, watch it over on Paramount Plus. I don't know if that will do us any good at this point. I think this was an $80 million budget on this animated film.
Yeah.
And that's not even probably promotion, which is hardly out there right now. I think the only promotion we saw was shirts that said Air.
I was showing my sister those shirts. I was like, oh, see, here's Toph, Katara, Air, Zuka. My sister busted a gut laughing so hard about the whole Air
I don't know
thing.
what they're doing with their promotion merch, but hilarious. That was one of them. So yeah, support them as best you can. If you've watched it, support them again. I know it's hard to avoid this. Apparently millions of people have already watched it, and that's sad. But
yeah, it's also the internet.
So be careful out there if you don't want to see any spoilers, if you still want to watch it. Hopefully, maybe Paramount will change their mind after this leak. Maybe they'll be like, okay, let's put it in theaters.
Yeah, it could work.
I don't know. I don't think that's the right message, but
like, hey, let's support the creators. Put it in theaters. So
I don't think
on the big screen.
I don't know if Paramount would do that.
Probably not. It's Paramount.
Yeah, I think they wanted to throw it over on Paramount Plus because they need more content over on their actual service. So I understand why they made that decision. I think it was a stupid ass decision. I don't support that. I think we should have saw this in theaters.
See, they could have done this thing where they released it in theaters and then put it on their streaming.
Or even do a limited time thing where it's like, okay, for only a 1 week only, you can see this movie in theaters for, a limited number of theaters. I know that's expensive. I know putting movies in theaters is expensive. It will cost money, of course, because you have to give money towards those chains depending on where you're putting them. Obviously, those theater chains. So I don't know. There's a lot to it. I highly doubt it's going to come to theaters. If it does, we will watch it. But probably we'll just watch it on Paramount Plus when it comes out in the fall.
Which means we're going to have to grab Paramount Plus.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about. I want to have like a whole Avatar centric episode one day because totally it's animation. It's very reminiscent to anime, obviously, and very inspired by anime. So
yeah,
and it's Western animation, I know, but
plus they actually studied like real martial arts moves for the different types of bending.
Yeah,
so if that's not love for the culture, what is?
Exactly, and then of course this is our childhood show. We both grew up with this one way or another. So
I actually got into it like right after it ended.
I remember your story. You watched the movie first.
Yeah, which got me going like, oh man, there's something here.
I can't believe you saw through that.
Hey, yeah, it got me there.
It's the only movie I ever walked out of a theater on.
I know.
And so I never watched it because I was like, well, M. Night Shyamalan is making a live action Avatar. Wow. And I wanted to see what that would be. And then the title crawl said Avatar Ong. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. That's it. You've already fucked up the name. So, and you've told me stories where I was like, really? This happened in the movie?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So,
but you see, they got the guy who played Jasper in Twilight to be Sokka in Avatar.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I was a huge Twilight fan back then.
So,
loved my sparkly vampires.
I know they whitewashed a lot of characters. In
they
that movie,
did,
right?
But they made them all like the wrong color. Like, you had like No, I feel like I understand what they were trying to go for. They were trying to be somewhat inclusive, but yeah, they just did it like all wrong. So yeah, they totally whitewashed Sokka. And did they do that to Katara? I don't remember who played her. But Zuko, I think like the Fire Nation were more like Indian, like India.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, I always pictured them more like Asian, like
like they should be.
Indians are Asian, but like you know, like yellow.
Yellow.
That's the
Got
color
it.
they
well, I know the Netflix show, and we watched like I think the first 3 episodes. And they actually typecast them pretty perfectly, right? I mean,
yeah, I think they did good about making them the colors they're meant to be.
I was seeing the list for the obviously the animated movie that got leaked that we're talking about, but like they typecasted everyone pretty perfectly in there too, because they had to recast everybody because everyone. I mean, the original cast is all grown up at this point. Their voices are not going to sound similar.
I feel like Dante Bosco could have still been Zuko.
They could have,
because he has that unique voice.
Yeah. I feel like out of him, he was like, he had the perfect voice to go a little older, but
brush the pup's teeth.
I'll just let that go.
This is a reminder.
Yeah.
Brush the pup's teeth.
We'll cut that. Okay. Yeah, I think Dante could have still done a Zuko role, but Steven Yeun still doing good. At least in the clip we saw.
Zuko, we could hear more of his Zuko.
Maybe we will in the movie.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Right?
So, I mean, it was just a clip we saw, so.
Because, I don't know, I feel like that could be the one thing that disappoints me. I don't know. Maybe he'll do good. I don't know. Maybe I need to hear more Steven Yeun.
Well, we'll find out in fall.
We'll find out in fall.
So, But that's it for our Weebly update and the news. So how about we get on to the spring lineup? We got about 16, 17 on this list that we've all watched.
Yes.
So I'm going to let you start first in no particular order. We're just going to talk about everything we've watched
All right.
up at this point. That is about, at least we've watched 1 episode to 2 at this point on some of
Right,
these. So
yeah.
maybe 3, but
A minimum of 1 at max at this moment 3.
yes. So
Me voiced.
you first, Witchley.
Alright, I'm gonna talk about Witch Hat Italian.
You're already starting at peak.
With Pig. This is probably just based on the 3 episodes we've seen so far, probably our favorite. But it's by Studio Bug Films.
Who did 100 Zom
Zom
100.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did Zom 100. It's sub and dub. So check that out. It's about a girl named Coco who dreams of casting magic. May become a reality after she uncovers a secret and becomes an apprentice. That is a very vague description.
A lot of these are vague descriptions, but what did you think of Witch Hat Atelier?
Oh,
I know, like you said, we've been waiting years on this adaptation
Yeah.
since they have announced it. I think in
really
about 2
excited,
years.
Yeah.
We've read some of the manga.
Yeah, we definitely did not keep up with the manga, but like this renewed our vigor for it, so we might get more. But I thought animation is beautiful. I love how man, it feels like you're looking at a storybook, and I love how like they're beautiful like transitions. It's just so stunning seeing this anime. Even if you're not a fan of the story itself, the animation is gorgeous. Is enough of a reason to check this anime out at the very least. But who doesn't love witches? Who doesn't love magic? Who doesn't love a gripping story?
I want to say this is a contender right now for Anime of the Year.
I agree.
And we are only in April, ladies and gentlemen. This is stunning. The story is so interesting. I love, and I really don't want to spoil the first episode. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, they were so like it. You want to see what it's about? Watch the first.
Yeah,
episode,
if you love fantasy, this is one of the big 3 fantasy that we've been waiting on to be an anime
up there
adaptation.
with Freerin and Delicious and Dungeon.
Yeah, this is what they've. Everyone in the anime space, or at least in the manga space, have always called Witch Hat Atelier, Freerin Beyond Journey's End, and Delicious and Dungeon the big fantasy 3. And now we have all 3 of these in an anime format, all very different from different studios doing great things with these adaptations. And Bug Films delivered on everything. I was so nervous for Bug Films to tackle this thing, just because they did an excellent job with their first anime title, which was Zom 100. I really liked what they did there. They had a little bit of production issues by midway
when
through.
you have to delay something indefinitely, that is a little concerning.
But they delivered.
They did deliver, which it's like, thank goodness it didn't take them like a couple years to finish Zom 100, because indefinite, you know what indefinite means.
Yeah.
It means they do not have a determined amount of time of how long it's going to take.
I think it took them 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, from how long it took to finish it.
Not bad.
And this was only the last 4 episodes, I think. They had to stop at episode 8 or something.
Yeah.
And it was a 12-episode run. And so I was a little nervous when I heard Bug Films was gonna do this adaptation, but this was supposed to come out last October.
Yeah.
They delayed it another 6 months, and now here we are.
I think it was good that they delayed it, considering their past anime. So maybe this will not have a break.
I'm hoping.
Unless there's like the natural break or whatever. But
I think my worries are a lot more cleared after episode 3. This was a 2-episode premiere. We've already watched the 3rd episode, and I'm okay. I feel like they have delivered thus far, and if they can continue to do that for the remaining episodes, I'm gonna be happy. And this is gonna be Anime of the Year for me. And I don't think anything's gonna trump that.
I would agree with that, honestly, because how could you beat this one? It's over on Crunchyroll if you want to watch it.
Yes, watch that over on Crunchyroll. Highly, highly recommend this one.
Yes.
Especially if it's going to be Anime of the Year. On to me, Daemons of the Shadow Realm. This is by Studio Bones, or Bones Film, who has previously done all of the My Hero Academia series and Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This show is from the same creator of Full Metal Alchemist, and this came out on April 4th. I think it was simuldubbed, so it actually came out dub and sub on the same day. Here's a description of it. 2 twins find themselves in a battle between those who can control supernatural beings called daemons. Again, very vague. And I don't even want to spoil the first episode as much.
Yeah, no, I think it's good to just go into this one
blind. And that's kind of what we did. Because, I was down for this just because you got Bones Film back at it with the same creator of Full Metal Alchemist, which is one of the best, if not one of the best animes of all time that they got to do. And obviously they are on the high of what they just did with My Hero Academia. Now they're doing this, tackling this new series. And I was so excited just from that alone. And knowing nothing, going in this blind, this is in my top 3 right now of the spring lineup. I was not expecting some twists in the first episode alone that made me even more intrigued on the story. And I just want to make it as vague as possible in this conversation because I think you should go in blind. I don't want to say anything about episode 1, and that is it. Unless you have anything else to throw out.
Is it dubbed?
It is done. I said that, yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I saw your notes on here and it says TBA.
It got simuldubbed. I already said that, yes.
Yeah. I wasn't paying attention. So, watch out over on Crunchyroll, right?
Yes, it's over on Crunchyroll. Unless you have anything else you want to say about it.
I think we should keep it minimal if we want them just to enjoy it.
All right. Well, that over on Crunchyroll, check it out right now.
All right. Next, we got ReZero, Starting Life in Another World, Season 4 by White Fox. Studio White Fox. It is simuldubbed. To save a stricken ally, Subaru faces a deadly desert to find the sage of Pleiades
Watchtower.
Pleiades Watchtower.
So what did you think of, because we've watched the first 2 episodes so far of
They're
ReZero?
bringing back the gruesome, horrific deaths, and I love it.
They literally just pick us up right where we leave off with season 3.
Yeah,
which is great. I love that.
like how it feels seamless. It's a great continuation so far. And I can't wait to see them overcome the seemingly impossible stretch they're on at the moment.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I mean, it's just more ReZero. I've loved ReZero since the beginning. Obviously, this is a whole isekai show, but not really the main crux of it. Obviously, it is an isekai, but the story is so good with its political stuff, and then obviously some brutality in this world with Subaru, dying constantly, getting reset into into checkpoints. Yeah. Kind of feels video gamey, but man,
thank goodness for those checkpoints.
Thank goodness for those checkpoints, but man, has he died a lot throughout the last 3 seasons. And from what I've been told is this arc, which I think is called Arc 6 in the light novel series, this is going to be the most brutal arc for Subaru and whatnot. So, really excited to see that. Obviously, the huge goal right now is to get Rem back. Since season 2, my goodness. So we have not had Rem since season 2 at the beginning. So I'm excited. It's just more ReZero, and it's fantastic. I can't wait to see more of that. So over on Crunchyroll. Okay, my choice. Going down the list, another season 4 is that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Now this one we have not started watching yet. We're probably dropping the series here after the last season.
I mean, I like Slime. I've enjoyed Slime. There was a lot of issues I had with season 3 of Slime, which is made by Studio 8-Bit, same studio that has made all of this up thus far. I think I agree with some of your statements though on what Slime is. It's gotten more modern. It's not more. It's still in a fantasy world. It just feels, I don't know.
The peak was Rimuru becoming a demon lord.
Yeah.
That was peak Slime for me. And then it just, personally, has gone downhill for me ever since. It's become less interesting.
Yeah.
And I thought becoming a demon lord would make the show more interesting, and it hasn't.
Yeah, and that was season 2.
Yeah.
That was season 2. So, yeah, I had some problems with season 3. You and I both had problems because I think the first 9 episodes of that season 3 was all of them just talking and recapping the entire show.
After they had already released a special recap episode to catch up, I was like, wow, they really didn't need to do that.
Yeah, I really wanted to watch season 4, but I also was a little intimidated because I think we reported it a while back, but this is a 5-core season.
Yeah.
Which I've never seen happen before.
If I hear some great stuff about it, then I might
check it out, but I think we're gonna sit off of this one. I just want to acknowledge Slime 4 is back. Slime is back. Season 4. Go check it out over on Crunchyroll. I think the dub just came out yesterday, so on the 17th, but it's been out since April 3rd in sub, so you can catch up a little bit there. So check it out. Slime. Your turn, Witchley.
Next up, we've got one of your personal favorites of the season, Agents of the Four Seasons, Dance of Spring by Wit Studios. It is
simul. Oh, no, it didn't get
I was
simul-dubbed.
thinking it's not simul-dubbed, or else we'd actually just be watching the dub instead of both. But yeah, sub and dub. A human entrusted with the power of spring returns to a world with an everlasting winter. Now, I want to say something real quick. Is that, this girl, Spring, I forgot her name.
Hina Kakiku or something. Yeah, I'm trying to remember her name. There's so many names.
The gal who is the agent of Spring, she has definitely is displaying signs of past trauma. Mm-hmm. She is a broken girl. So before you start calling her annoying or anything, keep that in mind. She is a broken woman. So yeah, I think it's beautiful. Love the animation. I love seeing her coming out of her shell because she's been through something very traumatic, and if you want to know what that is, watch the show.
Alright, do you have anything else you want to say about it?
I'll let you say something.
So I'm not saying her voice is annoying, okay? I don't want to say that. Just a tiny bit annoying, but I understand with the trauma. I understand that.
She has put herself outside of herself. That's why she speaks about herself
in third person, right? Yeah, she speaks in third person going forward. And we're in a. I really like the premise of the story. Basically, the premise of this is the seasons, which is winter, spring, summer, and autumn, or fall, whatever you want to call it. Okay. They are represented as agents, people, basically avatars.
They are gifted powers from the actual gods. Of those seasons.
So they assign somebody the ability to basically make the seasons happen.
Yeah.
And so that alone is a cool premise. The fact that there's this, you just have 4 avatars, basically, of different seasons, representing those seasons, of course, as it says. And then you have, again, I really love world building with the they have a whole agency. Basically the government controls them. And they all have assigned houses, and they have bodyguards, because apparently not a lot of people love, let's say, winter, for instance, because they hate winter. And so they also, you have I would say insurgency. You have terrorists trying to attack these agents all the time because they either want to kill them or capture them and steal their power and use them for their own purposes. So that alone is a cool premise. And obviously we see at the beginning of the show is Spring getting captured. She's been gone for 10 years. Mm-hmm. So no one for the last 10 years, no one has known what Spring is about. And you, right off the bat, first episode, you see that in a little girl who has not known Spring since she was 2, and she can't recall it.
Yeah.
They do such a brilliant job of just kind of throwing you into this story, with Spring, who's now been kind of free with her own bodyguard. You have a guardian who kind of is your protector, who protects you from any harm. And you see them trying to bring Spring back from this everlasting winter. And it's such a beautiful, that first episode, I cried twice. from the dub and the sub. It's so emotional. And this is the same creator that made Violet Evergarden, so of course it's going to be emotional.
Yeah.
And it made me so emotional with this little girl who's never known spring, and then you have Spring wanting to show this to not just this little girl, but to everyone around her in Japan right now. So that first episode is breathtaking with this animation. Wit Studios is not pulling their punches back on this one. If Witch Hat Atelier was not this season, this would have been my number one.
Oh,
this is close second right now. This is second. This is second right now.
Yeah, so us talking about it last night, it was totally second for you.
After watching the 4th episode, yes. So I'm loving this show. Please give it a watch.
What is it on?
Crunchyroll. Over on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
All right, that was you, right?
That was me.
All right. So next one is Ascendance of a Bookworm, adopted daughter of an archduke, which is also by Studio Wit. They're cranking them out. Obviously, sub came out on April 4th. I think the dub just came out as of yesterday, so the 18th of April. And it's in a world of magic nobles. Rosemean must survive dead. So she, Rose, or I guess her nickname's Mine, right?
Yeah.
So she must survive deadly plots and fight to bring books back into life. Now, this is the 4th season of, we watched this, oh my god, it's been like 2.5 years since the last season.
Yeah,
It's
I
been
think
a
we
while.
definitely need a recap or something before we dive into this one.
Yeah, we've not watched this season yet,
Yeah.
but I wanted
We
to
love
highlight.
this show, and we're totally gonna watch it.
So it is an isekai. It's about a girl who loves books. She's I think she was a librarian in her past life.
She got her dream job, died the first day.
From truck coon.
Or in this case, I believe it was a shelf coon.
Was it a bookshelf?
A bookshelf
Oh my
fell on her, I
goodness.
believe.
And so she gets isekai'd kind of inside of basically a dead child. I think.
Yeah, that child definitely died.
So kind of in vein of like kind of Rudius from Jobless Reincarnation a bit, where you kind of start off. I don't think she was a baby. I think she was like maybe 3 or 4 at the time. So
Yeah,
she kind of gets thrown into somebody else's body.
but her body can't handle magic because she apparently has magic.
Yeah. And so you get to see her she loves books so much, and she's in this fantasy world where she is in the slums with her family, and books don't exist, or they do exist, and they are very expensive because
and rare.
So and I love the premise of this, like she tries to make literacy a thing, like like literally bringing back books so people can read and write
Making
and learn.
it available to the masses.
Yeah, so you get to see how paper's made. You get to see her trying to make a book, or just books in general, and trying to like manufacture it. So you get to learn a lot of like like merchants and stuff and how that works. I mean, it feels in vein of like Spice and Wolf a bit, with like its trading and whatnot, and her learning the craft of it all too. And
but she's using her original world knowledge on this stuff to try to create these books.
And it's really interesting. And now with season 4, which is adapted with a new studio, like this is not the same studio that did the first 3 seasons. And so Wit Studios picked it up to do a whole, a new season. And this is basically way along into this story now, where she is literally a daughter of a duke. She is no longer with her original family. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So
it's because they can't have somebody who's not like wealthy or royal doing all these things to make life better for humankind.
Yeah, she needs to be into the hierarchy. So I want to watch it. I know we talked about it. Did we talk about it last week or the week after with the whole AI situation?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Where the first episode was caught using AI in the intro, in the background art. And now I think they've already rectified it. Episode 2, you'll see a difference in the intro. They've redid the opening with the background art. So I know we talked about that. That's a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, but I still want to give it a watch. I might need a recap, like you said, because it's been a while.
I mean, you can't fault the whole show just because.
No, and I'm not going to.
Opening, so that's not even fair to the creator of the story.
No, not at all. So I still want to watch it. Over on Crunchyroll, check it out.
Excellent. Next, we have Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku, by TMS Entertainment Studio 6. It is subbed. Is it dubbed?
Not yet, but it will be.
A young.
Oh wait, no, it's only subbed.
It's only subbed.
It's only subbed.
Okay. A young otaku meets two gals in his class who may have the same secret fandoms as him.
What do you think of this show?
I was like, oh man, I don't want to watch this one. And like, even though I did end up enjoying Hokkaido Gals, and it's done by the same creator.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I don't want to watch this one. Man, I really love this. I'm loving this anime. Not only is it like beautiful, I love the art style that they have going for it. But like, it's just nice seeing like these two gals who you would probably assume, if you're an asshole, assume would just be bitches who would be mean to otakus and whatnot. They're actually quite open-minded. Well, especially the blonde one. I think she's my favorite out of the two gals. Because she's a little ditzy. She's adorable, and she's just so accepting of things. But yeah, they seem to be bonding with the loner otaku kid in their class.
I think they just call him Otaku-kun.
Over this anime called Glittermon.
Glittermon, which is like a
Pokemon.
It's like a Pokemon
magical girl.
Yeah, magical girl show. So it's the audience is mostly like little girls. So that's why he's like kind of like
even though he was trying to sell it off at the beginning, almost like he's like, it's darker than it sounds.
It's a lot darker.
My thoughts were like, ooh, Madoka Magica.
No, probably not.
No. It's seeing the little snippets of Glittermon in that show. It's totally more of a little kid show.
Yeah, but yeah, and I'm so glad you're loving this show. I'm glad I got you into Hokkaido Gals, and now I got you into Otaku Gals. Seeing a theme here.
Yep.
It's just the gals.
It's the gals.
I don't know, just something that I really liked about Hokkaido Gals with that they did so well with that one, with, you know, again, another same plot sort of, but a loner boy going into Hokkaido and meeting these
very busty gals.
And you get to know them and his quirks and what he likes, and obviously he has a strict parents, or I think a grandma. If I remember. Yeah, but like with this one, you have sort of the same story. You have like an otaku and two gals, and it's just I don't know, it works for me. It works, and it's working for you, and I really love it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're so endearing, and you have like the blonde that's very ditzy, of course, but like she's very open to learning this Glittermon. And then you have the other girl, the brunette, who's more like standoffish, and they're like, I can't tell you that I love this, but I love this. But also she's
for my sister.
Yeah, I love her excuse the entire time, being like, it's for my sister. Obviously, I would not know this stuff if it wasn't for my sister, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so good so far. And then we've watched the first 2 episodes, and I'm so down for this whole show.
Yeah, go check it out over on Crunchyroll.
All right, next one on the list. Go For It, Nakamura-kun, which simul-dubbed, I think, at the same time on April 1st. So you can check it out there. And over on Crunchyroll, of course. Made by Studio Drive, and it's about an awkward high school boy who falls in love at the first sight with his dreamy classmate. So this is a boy love, if I've ever seen one.
It is.
I want to throw it at you first, because I really want to know what you thought about Nakamura-kun so far. I think we're at episode 3 or 4.
Alright, so like in terms of the actual romance aspect, it's extremely slow burn. They're not even friends yet, or maybe they are.
You have to watch.
You have to watch. But it's definitely extremely slow burning. I love the old anime feel of this. It's like almost has like an 80s kind or 90s kind of quality,
like late 80s, early 90s kind of vibe, you know.
And then like each outro for the anime is different. I like how it gives you almost like that lo-fi vibes, you know, the studying girl. I think that's what they did for the first one.
Yeah, they did.
They did Nakamura as like the studying girl with the lo-fi kind of music. Mm-hmm. But each one is so creative.
Man, the art style just gives me a lot of Ranma vibes, at least based off the art style a bit, you know?
Oh yeah, I could see that. Except it has the more almost softer kind of colors that you would see in older anime.
Exactly. they're doing such a brilliant job with this. And then the fact that this is a boy love, I love this so much that like you just have this boy who's head over heels for a classmate and he wants to get to know him, but he's too shy to talk to him, and he has to try to like, he's like, I want to be friends with him. And then he has like this book that he reads all the time, which is a boy love, and just wants to like recreate scenes with that. It's just, it's so enjoyable, and I really am literally rooting for Nakamura. Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Literally.
Go for it.
Like, go ahead and like be friends with him. And obviously right off the bat, he's not gonna be like, I love you, please go out with me, obviously, but I'm loving the chemistry so far between him and some of the supporting cast, and so on and so forth. I'm enjoying this show, and I can't wait to see. I love every Wednesday I get to watch this with you, and see what new outro is gonna happen, but what's gonna happen next?
Right, what shenanigans are they gonna get into?
So go for it, Nakamura-kun. Check it out over on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. Next up, we got Marriage Toxin by Bones Film Studio.
Yeah, they've changed their name. That's why I always kept calling them Studio Bones or something, you know?
Yeah. It is absolutely subbed.
Dub TBA.
Okay. Hikaru Gero, an elite assassin and heir to a family of masters, must find a bride to protect his sister.
Oh man, what do you think of this so far?
This is really fun. I've been enjoying it. Like, if you're wanting some like action-y kind of anime with maybe a little like romance, which is a little surprising, but this is a fun one. You get the action, you get like these nice little feelings, and it's how do I explain this?
It gives me a lot of Sakamoto vibes. I don't know why. Like you got the action, but you got the romance too. So you have this assassin.
I don't know about the romance in Sakamoto, but
well, I mean, like I'm just talking action wise.
Yeah.
Like if you want action, you're gonna get that in this show.
But obviously, since he's trying to find a bride.
Yeah, and what does he do? He proposes to the person he's supposed to assassinate.
Yeah, but there's a twist there.
And I don't know if I want to say that one.
No.
Yeah, watch the first episode on that one, but I really like it because it has this charm to it with like obviously like this absurd world. You have this guy who deals with poison, and you have I think one of his friends that he meets along the way is getting married, and he likes bugs, and it's so gross.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So you just see like these wacky characters, which is kind of in vain of like Sakamoto with all these wacky characters.
Yeah,
you know? So that's kind of what I'm feeling.
That makes sense.
But yeah, you have like this guy who he's never talked to a girl. He's very introvert, but he gets the job done with his assassin job because he was trained in his clan. But of course, his sister, who you get to meet right at the bat, is a Yuri. That's not a spoiler. That's in the first episode. But she really wants to be with her girlfriend, but her clan is literally saying that she needs to settle down.
She needs to provide an heir because
Gero isn't going to do it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm going to make sure my sister's happy. By me, I need to find a candidate. I need to find somebody to marry.
Find a wife.
And so the first person he marries is obviously
he doesn't marry, but
he proposes on the spot is the person he's about to assassinate on a job that he's doing. And so it just goes from there. It's very wacky. I'm loving it so far. I can't wait for the next episode and see where this leads.
Yeah.
So Marriage Toxin, and again, Bone Studios doing 2 this season. They're just crazy.
On Crunchyroll.
Yep. All right, next one down the list is T-Bait, which stands for the beginning after the end, season 2. Now I know we've had some. I've had some issues with this show so far, at least in the first season. This is by Studio Cat. It was subbed on April 1st. Dubbed, I think, just came out on the 14th of April. So again, it's more of T-Bait, with Arthur facing one last mission with Jasmine, but the quest unleashes a tragedy no one saw coming. That is the synopsis for season 2. I'm on board for season 2. We've watched the first episode so far in dub.
Yeah.
And it's just more T-Bait. There's something about this show that I'm interested to see more. Like, I want to see where this goes. I just don't have like a goal in mind. Like, I know it's trying to do something in vain of what sort of Mushoku
Mushoku
Tensei
Tensei.
does a bit. You know, you have this, a little different. Obviously, you have this
Yeah.
king in this other world who is like in a sci-fi setting too, like a little bit more of a sci-fi.
Yeah, that is a really interesting aspect.
You have this guy who's very powerful. He was a king. He gets assassinated. He gets reincarnated as a baby in this other fantasy world, and you.
First season was him learning the importance of actually relying on others.
Mm-hmm.
This season is, I don't know what exactly is going on, what will be the big lesson.
I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah.
But it gives me the sort of like itch right now for until I get Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 back in July of 2026. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's like a back scratcher that can't quite reach that itch.
Exactly. That is perfect. It's good enough. I don't know. Do you have anything to say about T-Bait?
No.
Okay.
I just enjoyed the first season. I'm looking forward to this one. But yeah.
Well, if we have anything more to say, we'll talk about it. But that is over on Crunchyroll.
Next, we got The Drops of God by Statelight Studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's subbed. Is it dubbed?
It will be dubbed soon.
Okay.
No confirmation.
TBA. But Shizuku Kanazaki and Issei Tomine face off in a test of their wine knowledge to secure their father's estate.
What do you think of this?
I'm enjoying this one. It's very different from anime we usually watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's like as a wine connoisseur myself. I don't know if I could call myself a connoisseur. I just love drinking wine. But like I do find it interesting. I love like the imagery you get when he like smells the wine or like and all that kind of stuff. So I'm finding that very interesting. It is a very calm anime, and it's been nice to accidentally nap to.
You napped to the first episode of it at the end,
Yeah,
so I had to kind of give you a recap of what happened.
About that.
Well, we'll probably watch it dubbed again, so you won't miss too much after that. But yeah, I really am enjoying this one. Like you said, it's very slow. I think this was adapted into a live action some time ago, and I think Apple TV picked it up, so you can watch a live action version of this.
That would be pretty cool.
Which is it fits. It fits. It's totally. It's not like a high octane anime series. It's literally about two people tasting wine and describing what wine is, and I find it so fascinating because I'm like. Last year, I really, really loved Ruri Rocks for its rock knowledge, geology.
Yeah.
And funny enough, there's from the same people that do Jobless Reincarnation. It looks stunning. It looks beautiful. But I got to learn a lot about rocks, which is something you really find fascinating.
I've always loved rocks. I have coloring cauldrons full of rocks.
So going into this one, I'm just like, okay, well, I know this is totally up Witcherly's alley because she loves wine. And I didn't realize how much I would enjoy watching people drink wine. And it's really interesting. I can't wait to see more of the show. I get to see a man who has never had a drop of wine in his life from his father's estate because he went to go do beer instead.
Yeah.
But he has a really keen nose because his dad taught him all he knows about wine growing up. So he has like all these scents in his mind and he knows what they are because of it, thanks to his father. And his father passes away. And so now he has to fight for the drops of God, which is this like will estate, like this will test to see if you get his fortune, which is like a lot of wine. Right. That he could, sell off or keep.
Because honestly, that kind of estate should go to the son who is the one who loves and respects wine.
And so, yeah, it's this whole test. I'm really excited to see it. It's very low key, like I said. It's not like you're gonna get like your blood pumping here, but it's very slow. But
with the drinking of wine and like visiting with people, you get like these like
little stories.
Yeah, you get these stories. And I feel like that could almost bring it up to, this is going to be a weird comparison, maybe even a little bit Violet Evergarden's level of emotions if they do it right.
If they can do it right.
Yeah.
They kind of showed a little bit of it with a couple in the second episode. So
yeah,
really interested to see more. Drops of God over on Crunchyroll. Next one on the list is Wistoria Wand and Sword Season 2, which is by Bandai Namco and Actus. Sub is already out at the time on April 12th, TBA on the dub. But this is Will and his friends face new challenges and higher stakes in Wistoria Wand and Sword Season 2. I really love Wistoria.
Yeah. I remember loving it.
That first season is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It made me read the manga. You know, I love something when I read the manga. And I read past where we were at and beyond, obviously, where season 2 is going. I will say I really did not like what they did with the marketing for season 2 of Wistoria. They have basically spoiled some stuff that I was not seeing coming at all from reading the manga, and I kind of don't like that. They basically confirm some deaths that happen. They confirm a huge tragedy that happens in season 2 right off the bat in the season 2 trailer. So I'm not going to spoil that for you.
In case you haven't seen
the trailer, but if you watch the trailer, they are going to spoil some stuff.
I was disenchanted by the trailers. I was like, oh man.
I'm glad. For someone who hasn't read the manga, on your end, I'm sure you are disappointed.
Yeah.
And just thrown off. I still want to watch it, mind you.
Yeah.
I still want to see what happens.
I will need to see like a recap.
They did do a recap episode, which was really thankful because I really wanted to watch the first season again because I really enjoyed the story of basically it's like Mashal meets Harry Potter in this one. More or less it's just like Mashal. You have a boy who
except
has
more serious,
and this is from the same creator that does Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon? Same creator, which is I was like I can see it. I can see like the vibes that he was going for. So you have this student called Will, who does not have an ounce of magic in him. And he goes to a school of magicians, of wizards and witches that are trying to become, the biggest witch and wizard that they ever can be. I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't know.
He goes to a school of he's basically going to Hogwarts. Okay, he's going to Hogwarts. And he doesn't know and everybody knows at this point. Everyone knows that he does not have any magic, and so he's basically subjugated down as like the lowest tier in the entire school. So just him trying to prove himself with literally his sword,
right?
Because he's a really good swordsman, and that's how he goes from there. But the only reason he's doing this is so he can go up in the ranks of this school, so he can see his childhood friend, who is, I guess, one of the sages of the school, or that protects the school.
She invented a new type of magic or something.
Yeah, whenever you invent something, you kind of get recognized as like a sage. And I think there's like 5 or 6 of them up there in the tower that you get to see a little bit of her, which is really nice, and the other people, the other sages. So maybe you'll see more of that in season 2. But yeah, I was really fascinated with season 1. I'm really excited for season 2, though I am disappointed how they have handled the marketing. So
yeah, that's
over on Crunchyroll. Unless you have anything else you want to say.
No, I'm good. Next up, we have Pardon the Intrusion, I'm Home by Tatsunoko Production. It's subbed.
Only subbed, yes.
Yeah, okay. Rinko's life is upended when holes in the wall link her room to 2 mysterious and handsome neighbors. I've been enjoying this one so far. It's fun. She, especially like after like the second episode, like at first you think it's just gonna be mealtime with these 2 people and a fake relationship, but then you see like the why she is the way she is. You see like this beautiful animation where they're going from a story that she read, which sort of helped her when she was younger and that she still refers to, but she's having hard times. I don't know, it's just great, but I'll let you talk about some of it.
No, I really like that second episode. That second episode solidified me enjoying this show even more.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, if the first episode didn't hook anyone, watch the second episode. The second episode solidified it for me and for you.
A theory
that you know who the author is.
I don't know. It's just a theory. I think.
Do you want to go into that now, or
shall I? I mean, the first neighbor, the one who put the holes in her walls, that's her favorite mangaka.
Mm-hmm.
He's handsome, he's young. The other guy, he's a nice neighbor, pretends to be her boyfriend. Spoiler.
To save her against the other guy. So.
Yeah, but my theory is that he might be the author of her favorite book series.
So she's gonna have 2 of her favorite things.
Yeah,
right.
Like
squished between her
2 favorite creators. That's my theory.
We'll find out. But we'll find out. I think it's a good theory because I think they kind of hint at it at the end of episode 2 with the handsome one that's her fake boyfriend. And yeah, she's very very introvert. She really loves her stuff. She really loves her anime, and I like seeing that all around her apartment. My one complaint was, and they addressed this immediately in season 2, which I was happy of, is like, why is her apartment the smallest it is, and then you see the boys' apartments.
Have these big apartments.
They have these big ass apartments that are way different than any other apartment you would see in basically Japan. I mean, like, her apartment would look like something you would see in Japan.
Yeah.
Unlike theirs, they look like, but they quickly established that the previous owner kind of renovated a bit and also expanded on the rooms.
Yeah, but the mangaka, his dad owns the apartment, so he had him renovate it for him.
So I was very happy that they established that, because I was like, why are they so different? And yeah, you were telling me it's an anime, get over it. But them explaining, I was like, okay, I'm happy because they actually addressed it very quickly. Because otherwise, I'm like, why are these rooms so ridiculously big?
Like, just my go-to to tell you, because for one, it's fiction. They don't have to explain it if they don't want to.
And they did, and I'm very happy for it. So, pardon the intrusion. I'm home. I'm really excited to see more of it.
Over on Crunchyroll.
Next one, The Warrior Princess and the Barbarian King, made by Studio Jumondo. I think I'm saying that correctly. Sub is already out as of April 9th. Dub is TBA. Serafina, the fiercest knight, receives a surprise marriage proposal after being captured by barbarians. What did you think? I'm going to throw this back to you. I want to know what you thought of this show.
I love it. It's a fun story. You see why she decided to become a knight.
Right off the bat in season 1, I love that.
Yeah, so you see, she has like this important goal in mind. She's not used to luxuries despite being like a lady turned knight.
She's not used to being a lady. She's used to just being a knight,
So I really love like seeing like her thoughts and perceptions on the barbarians this whole time, and learning they might not be as bad as she was led to believe.
Yeah, after episode 2, I mean, yeah, that was really good to see.
However, the ending of episode 1 was definitely the part that makes you go, "Oh my god!"
I was surprised by this one. Like, I did not realize how much action there was in this show. I thought it was like a B-tier action anime where it's like, oh, she's already captured. You're not going to see as much fighting as you would think. No, there was blood. There was there was an awesome fight scene between her and the Barbarian King. Just, it was fantastic. And like, honestly, his look looked like literally like Guts from Berserk. Wearing the Berserk armor and everything, you can kind of see it. It's awesome. So I was loving that nod, but like, yeah, I really liked seeing why she became a knight. You see that in the first episode. You see like all these expectations that people want from her, like, oh, you're a lady, be a lady. Her brother being like, you shouldn't be a knight, you should go wed,
However, their kingdom is suffering from famine.
And that's why she goes out
and they need new lands.
They go ahead and attack the barbarians because it's like they have all these lands. So it's a little bit political things. And I wonder if they'll go back to that, because the second episode doesn't really address that as much as her being captured, obviously, and her getting to know this king.
I think now they gotta work on getting to know each other for one thing, and then it can get into that point where that much they trust each other, or she trusts him because he already trusts her. That could then can get back to the state of her kingdom.
I'm hoping they do that, or at the very least, like, maybe they have some kind of common ground where they're like, okay, well, you married the king of the barbarians, let's make this whole...
like it will be one of those things where they join
hands.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I'm really interested to see if they'll tackle the political things.
It could be a mutually beneficial relationship.
So far, it's very beautiful. And and I like the story so far with them trying to get to know each other, as much as she is a prisoner, quote unquote, being proposed to as a wife, and she doesn't understand what that means yet. She's like, I don't know about this. She's like a little weary. Of course she has to be weary.
She is. This is the enemy.
She also got to try out dragon meat, which I thought was really funny. Where she's like, I've never had something like this. We should hunt this in our lands. It's a dragon. What?
Yeah.
What? So, really funny. I'm really excited to see more of that.
Over on Crunchyroll.
Over on Crunchyroll.
Next, we got Always a Catch by Troika Studio. It's subbed. After once believing she would inherit a kingdom, Maria now finds herself in the middle of princely desires.
What do you think of this? It's a villainess-esque,
It is
show.
villainess-esque. She is not a villainess, but she can kick ass. But it is funny. It's cute. It definitely feels like a villainess anime.
I really don't want to spoil episode 2.
No, I don't want to go into all the details. But, wait, should we? Well,
We can talk about episode 1. I really like
Alright.
what they did with episode 1, where you.
She's trying to find a fiance now. She can live her own life, instead of inherit her parents' kingdom. She now is leaving that to her new younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's like, oh, okay, now I could actually be a lady and do the pretty things like I've always wanted to do.
So she goes to her best friend in another kingdom, hangs out there, and what happens?
Well, she's not even in a relationship, but the jerk comes up to her and breaks off their engagement.
Because he mistook her.
He mistook her for his actual fiance.
Yeah, which is right beside her. So I just find that so funny. And then, of course, what did she say?
She's like, first thing, you need glasses.
And that's how they stop the episode. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love her personality. Like
She's cute.
this very she's very tomboy-esque, like with some of what she does. Like she doesn't have any manners. She doesn't.
She was a fighting kingdom. She knows how to fight. I guess.
But she's very attractive and cute. She has long hair and
a brass knuckles.
as like a pendant.
Clip.
Yeah, I thought that was so cute. Like just seeing a brass knuckle on there, and I think she's used it once.
Oh yeah.
In the second episode, so
Right.
I think she's very energetic, and I love that.
She's
so much.
a unique character.
Yeah, and it's nice seeing the other characters. I don't want to say anything more than that because episode 2 changes my perspective in a good way with going forward and with this show because I don't want to say any more than that. That's all I want to leave it at. So
go watch it over on Crunchyroll.
Always and really good title too. Always a Catch.
Always a Catch.
I love that. So. All right, we're getting close to the end. We got a couple more left. Is the Ramparts of Ice?
One of my personal favorites.
Yeah, and this is by Studio Kai, who we talked about earlier this podcast. Simuldubbed on April 2nd. Over on Netflix, by the way. This is over on Netflix.
See, not Crunchyroll.
Yeah. Koyuki Hiwakawa is a socially withdrawn student who keeps an emotional wall between herself and others. The only person she spends time with is her childhood friend, Miki. One day, Koyuki's quiet life is disturbed when a boy named Minato inexplicably starts trying to break through her barriers. The aloof Koyuki, the popular Miki, and the overly familiar Minato, and the laid-back basketball player, Yota, share an awkward, occasionally frustrating yet wholesome student life. An ensemble drama shaped by the cross paths of youth is about to begin. A little bit more descriptive than the Crunchyroll ones, but what I'm gonna throw it to you. This is
done by the same creator of Polar Opposites,
which we love so much, which we talked about last episode.
And you get that feeling a wee bit, but this is definitely a little more serious anime. But you still have some humor. You have that same unique art style, and I love what they're doing with this. The story so far is just like gripping. But yeah, a little high school possible romance.
Possible? We're not there yet.
Yeah.
It's gonna take
I think
some
it's
time.
more about getting her friends first.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that they're focusing on that, like, because you see why she's had these emotional, I guess these barriers up, these ice walls.
Wasn't she bullied in middle school?
Yeah, she was bullied so much growing up
Yeah.
that she decided to just wall herself off from everyone else except her best friend, of course, that you get to know as well. You get to know everybody. It's not just even her. You get to see other people's struggles, and you get to see that with her best friend, and then you get to, I think we're starting to see that with Minato a bit, and so on and so forth. So I'm really excited to see this 4 friendship.
Four-way friendship.
This
This
four-way-
friendship square.
this square of a friendship, and you get to see not just the struggles that she's having right now, but everybody else around her. And I think that's something that's really brilliant about what they do with Polar Opposites as
Yeah.
well, is that they don't just focus on the main character, the two main characters who are already in a relationship, but you get to see her friends do that same thing.
They're really good about giving you a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, it's somewhat it's what I really love about Horimiya. Just how they focus on not just the main the main characters, but everyone around them, the supporting cast, and I'm really excited to see more of this show.
It makes the world feel better lived in, and it makes more sense bringing all these things in. Like unlike, there's no freaking way I'll be your lover. That was poor character management, I would say, compared to this creator does it.
Yeah, but these four characters, they feel like they're human. Like they're
living their life.
problems.
They're not set on the wayside while other people are living their own life.
Everyone has problems.
Yeah.
And you get to see that.
Yeah.
And I love that. So I'm excited to watch it every week with you.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm glad it's a highlight for you. So
yeah.
The Ramparts of Ice over on Netflix.
And then we have Akane Beneshi. Akane's father was once expelled from the Rakugo profession, and she takes up the art form 6 years later, partly to avenge him. The series follows her journey of lessons, practice, and powerful performances that evoke laughter, tears, and thought.
So this one's over on YouTube right now, but it will come over to Netflix in May. Surprised by that. I guess it's doing really well, and it is really good. Talk about it, Wishley.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was surprised by this one. I was like, well, how interesting can a show like this be when the sport, if you could call it a sport, it sort of feels like a sports anime with how they set it up.
So what is Rakugo? What is this?
It's like a sort of like a storytelling or comedic kind of storytelling where you have this person, they're just sitting there, and they tell you a story using different voices to switch between the characters. It's a very interesting art. I find it really fascinating. But I was like, how is this going to be interesting in an anime?
That first episode does a really good job explaining what it is.
All the episodes we've seen so far have done an amazing job. It gets you invested, and you're like, oh wow.
Yeah, I was very skeptical of the show, but reading it, I was so fascinated because it's this culture, it's this thing in Japanese that I've never seen before, and I love that, again, anime can show us this side of Japan. Like another one I always think of is the March Comes in Like a Lion, like showing I forget what the game is called. Shogi. But seeing what Shogi's like, and it's like, and that's somewhat of a sports anime as well. Yeah. You have this young boy who loves shogi so much, but then you're seeing like all these, it's like an older gentleman's game, more or less, but you're just seeing all these professionals playing it. But yeah, with this, I love what you called it, sit down comedy routine, rather than a stand up comedy, because they're literally sitting down, telling you a story in front of these people, and it's so fascinating. And that first episode really sells it for you, and what the stakes are, because and it really focuses on Akane's father.
Yeah.
And you get to see her at a young age being so enamored by Rakugo, and him being a Rakugo Koga, and seeing what that's like, and obviously the tragedy that happens in the first episode. Don't want to say too much about that, but obviously that starts her on her path to be a Rakugo, and go from there. It's so fascinating. The first 3 episodes, I've been hooked. Man, this is very high up there for me right now.
Oh, me too. It's probably top 3 for me.
It could dethrone my top 3 right now.
Wow.
Somewhere on that list, but obviously we'll get into that when we get to our spring wrap up down the road.
Yeah.
I'm loving this. Every episode's been so good, and I'm so glad you're enjoying it, Witchley. I was skeptical at first on you, being like, I don't know if you're gonna like this, because again, I've been in more of a sports kick. I don't know why.
I've seen the shift in you, where you're enjoying those anime that you had like absolutely no interest in when we first started watching anime together.
I don't know what it is. It's just it's naturally coming to me. I don't know why. It's like it's not like something that just sprung. I just gave it a chance.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing
and
seeing something
you're more
there.
open to actually checking out more now because of that. So.
Yeah, and that's what I really loved about Blue Box, and I saw that with 100 meters last year, and so I don't know why I'm just kind of shifting to this. I guess I'm just realizing there's more out there in the anime, and
Right.
you can tell good stories, and this is a good story.
Even if it's with a subject that you're not particularly interested in yourself, there's still a good story and characters.
And I think that's what's selling it for me. Like it's not necessarily the sports, and the ones that I've watched do a good job, like not overshadowing one. Like the story obviously is important, but like obviously the sport is as well. So it's like
a good marriage.
It's a good marriage. It's a good middle ground, and
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. And this one's a good one too, where I'm fascinated by what this sport is, this sit down comedy routine, and I'm invigorated by like the performance. Like I want to know how they're performing and how it's all working, and it's doing a good job doing that. And you have Akane who is learning this craft at the same time, and her trying to perfect it and become the best Rakugo that she wants to be, to maybe like do something that do what her dad couldn't do.
A Rakugo person is her way of avenging her father for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she has such a passion for it, so this is her future at the same time.
Exactly. So she's taking on this huge endeavor that you saw with her father take on, and how that paid off for him, and
avenging your father and chasing your dreams.
Yep. I'm so excited for more of this every week. So
yeah.
Akane Banashi, it's over on YouTube right now. It's free.
Yeah.
You can watch it.
Check it out there.
First 3 episodes are out, and I think later down the road Netflix is going to pick it up and I think do a dub. So right now it's only subbed. So check it out. Now on to the last one. We're at last one. This one was last minute.
Yeah.
An observation log of my fiance who calls herself a villainess. So this is over on Crunchyroll, sub and dubbed right now. Bertia is reincarnated into her favorite Otome game, not as the heroine, but as the villainess engaged to the perfect crown prince Cecil.
Yeah.
Fully aware that her role is to sabotage his future romance. She's determined to bloom as a wicked flower and wither away according to the story, but no matter how hard she tries to scheme her evil plans, only make her more endearing. So we weren't gonna watch this.
No.
Because we were kind of tired of the villainous tropes a bit.
This one just doesn't seem all that interesting. However, we watched, I think, Mother's Basement talk about it.
Yep, and his best of.
I was all like, okay, well, I'm willing to check it out. And I enjoyed the first episode pretty good. But I do see this one, if they don't keep it, like, changing, like, evolving and becoming more interesting, it's going to get really old fast.
It'll probably get dropped for us if they can't surprise us more. I mean, I like the premise so far. You have Cecil, who is this I guess a genius.
Genius board prince.
Yeah, and so when he runs into her, he is like, I can't explain. And she immediately just says,
unexpected. Yeah.
She immediately says she's a villainess and that I am from, a different world called Japan. Like, she immediately just flat out just says it to him, like,
which is interesting on its own, because you never have people in these types of animes saying, hey, I'm from a different world.
Yeah, so that alone has already been intriguing, but then, like, obviously they deal with, like, him being so fascinated by her because of, like, how she acts, and he can't solve this case. Like, he can't solve this solution, being like, oh, you're from where?
She's the one, like, unpredictable thing in his life.
And so that alone is also fascinating, like, how he is so enamored by her just because of, like, she's different. She is nothing I have ever expected. In I guess the 10 years I've been alive,
right.
Or however old he is. So I'm interested to see where it plays out. And like you said, they have to. This is a 3 episode watch for us, and if they can't sell us after the 3rd, we'll see where we are. Because we weren't originally going to watch it, but the premise alone sounds fascinating. I just hope they don't drop it or things shift or change. We'll see. We'll let you know if we drop on this one. But so far, first episode, I'm sold.
Yeah.
So that's over on Crunchyroll. I don't even know what we would call this, like as a shorter title. An observation log with my fiance who calls herself a villainess.
We'll just call it observation log.
Yeah. That is it. Let us know down below what you're watching in the spring lineup. And if there's any that we are not watching right now that you can recommend, maybe we'll give it a watch. Let us know.
Don't forget, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and even cool merch on Redbubble.
And if you got any questions, comments, concerns, or thoughts for us, you can reach us out over at weebiesimpinpodcast@gmail.com.
And that's a podcast.
So as we always say,
Ja mate.